Toronto police have been voted out of the Pride Parade indefinitely. Officers won't be marching this year, and it could be a while before they're back. Last night, Pride's general membership voted 163 to 161 not to include police, a decision that covers all future parades. Now, the decision overriding recommendations from the festival's board that officers be allowed to march. Toronto Police's LGBTQ liaison officer says the force has been working to strengthen its relationship with the community, but there's still work to be done.
I'm not surprised by the vote. I'm surprised by how close the vote was. But we've known for the last couple of years that the work that we're doing and the relationship that we're building and the bridges that we're rebuilding wasn't going to happen overnight. We knew it was going to be a process. Does that mean I'm still disappointed? Absolutely. We've been doing the work for the last 2 or 3 years. We've been having the conversations. We've been bringing people to the table, and that's going to continue regardless. But what I ask is for those that haven't come to the table yet, come to the table, have this conversation with us. People are well aware that we've gone through a lot, from the Pride conversation to the serial investigation. So there's a lot of other things that we need to focus on to further the relationship and do a better job.
And joining me now to discuss police participation in Pride is Christin Milloy. And Christin's been an outspoken critic of police participation in the march. You're also a former organizer of the Trans March in the city. So let's talk about this vote, because it was literally down to a hair, 2 votes.
It was. Every vote made a huge difference in this choice. What
was the reaction when the vote was read out and the result came out?
There were a lot of emotions. I think on our side we weren't sure what to expect when we heard the new influx of members, but we're very pleased the community has spoken and decided to make a safer Pride for all members of the LGBTQ community.
And your side is saying that there was a surge of new members kind of at the 11th hour.
There was. Membership for a long time was set at 265, and then overnight, a couple days before the vote, it went up by 244. To a total of, yeah.
Obviously a very divisive issue in the city. And why do you stand firm that police should not participate in the parade?
So Pride is not about inclusion of groups like police and military. We look at our LGBTQ community. We have many, many members who are, still excessively marginalized. Black people, Indigenous, people of color, the disabled, deaf and hard of hearing. I myself am a transgender woman. And we have had experiences with police which, don't align with perhaps what white man who happens to be gay has had. We've heard from these members, and they've spoken loudly and clearly that having police makes the festival unsafe for them. In our minds, Pride is meant to be a safe place for all of us, and we must prioritize the needs of those members of our community above the inclusion of Toronto Police or any police service.
Is the relationship with police repairable?
That's a tough question, and I got to say, with recent events like the 2017 Project Marie, the baiting and entrapping of gay men having consensual sex, and the mismanagement of the Bruce McArthur serial killer case, members of our community cried out for months that something was going on, people were disappearing, and we were ignored. And
so there's a lot of anger right now.
There's a lot of anger right now, but there's also a long history of, some recent history of abuses and mistreatment at the hands of police.
Would you be open to dialogue?
That's not up to me. I think that dialogue, if it does happen, needs to happen external to the Pride March, the Pride Festival.
What would you need to see a different behavior with police? What kind of different behavior would you want to see in order to change your mind on their participation? It's not up to me. I would listen to the marginalized members of our communities, and because those are the people who have to feel safe. So. Do you think this vote? I mean, right now it says indefinite. Do you think it could be reopened before before the parade?
Not this year.
Do you think it'll be reopened again?
I think that they may try to open it up again, and we'll be ready to deal with it if it happens. The bottom line is that at the current point in history and the culture of our community, and with police, especially in the city of Toronto, now's not the time. Pride was born of. Pride was a civil rights march. Pride happened because of police action against the queer community. It was a grassroots. We did very well for a long time with very little money and no police involved. And it's my firm belief that we will continue to prosper in those conditions moving forward.
Christin, thank you for coming in and sharing your thoughts.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.